When you think of a big tree, usually a sequoia comes to mind. But what makes a giant sequoia so special? Well, for one, its size. While they are not the tallest, that particular title goes to its cousin, the coastal redwood. The giant sequoia is one of the largest. They can grow up to 300 feet tall and up to 35 feet in diameter. Also, they can weigh up to 640 tons. Secondly, and equally impressive, they are one of the oldest living organisms and can live up to 3,000 years old. This particular one is only about 100 years old, and it's already about 8 feet in diameter. Finally, what makes a giant sequoia so special is how awe-inspiring they are when you get to stand next to one of these. They have very specific growing needs, so they can only be found in a very small part of California. Yosemite National Park was founded in part to protect these giant sequoias. And today I will teach you how to identify them. As I mentioned before, sequoias are big. So one of the ways you can tell that a tree is a sequoia is simply by its size. Take a look at how much bigger this particular sequoia is compared to the rest of the trees in this park. Another way you can tell this is a sequoia is simply by looking at its bark. Sequoias will usually have red bark. Next, another visual cue is looking at the base of the tree. Because the sequoia is so heavy, the base of the tree must be bigger than the rest of the tree to support all that weight. Take a look at how much wider the base is compared to the midsection and the top. This is what we call a butt swell, and I did not make that word up. Finally, one last way to tell that a tree is a sequoia is by going up to it. If you're allowed to go up to a sequoia, you can lightly punch the tree. Sequoias have very soft bark, so if the tree fights back, it's probably not a sequoia. Giant sequoias used to be much more extensive across North America. However, their numbers are dwindling. They may appear large, strong, and have stood the test of time. But they are facing an uncertain future brought on by climate change that are affecting their very specific growing needs. Consider how long they have been here, but how rare they are now. Take this chance to experience their grandeur, their resilience, and the awe they inspire. If you do get a chance to visit a giant sequoia, please be mindful and respectful. Do not walk in the areas immediately around the trees, as they have very sensitive and shallow roots. Obey all fencing and signage. Don't take anything from the park. Leave the cones where you find them, as this may affect their chance of germinating. Thank you for tuning in. Now that you've learned what makes sequoias so special and how to identify them, you won't be barking up the wrong tree